Scorpio, my steady soul with fire beneath the surface, there is something you must know right now. Money is rushing in. Not as a fleeting moment of luck, but as a divine response to your years of quiet strength, loyalty, and transformation. The energies of this day, November 12, 2025, are aligning in a way that you simply cannot ignore. Something big is trying to make its way to you. You didn't find this message by chance. It is here because your spirit called for it. So let me ask you, do you feel it? That subtle stirring in your chest? The tension in your solar plexus? The quiet whisper that says, something is coming? That's not anxiety. That is alignment. That is destiny preparing to meet you halfway. Today's reading isn't just a forecast. It's a soul-aligned transmission from the cosmos, speaking directly into the chambers of your heart. You see, Scorpio, you're not new to challenge. You've walked through fire, rebuilt yourself from ashes, and carried others even when your own arms were tired. That is why this moment is sacred. The universe never forgets a soul that stays faithful in silence. And it is in your silence that a divine shift has been growing steadily, patiently waiting for you to be ready. This message is a mirror. It is a reflection of the breakthrough you've been praying for but doubting would ever come. And now, the veils are thinning. The answers you've asked for about your finances, your emotional stability, your spiritual clarity are about to unfold. But the question is, will you allow it in? I want you to comment below and write, I'm open to receive. Not for me, but for you. For your soul. For every version of you that needed a sign. Let it be your personal declaration to the universe, your soul's yes. Scorpio, today's alignment is not ordinary. The moon lights up your financial axis. Mars, your co-ruler, forms a divine trine with Jupiter, unlocking hidden wealth, unexpected inheritances, spiritual blessings, and profound clarity. This is the kind of transit that changes the story. That whispers, you are no longer surviving. You are about to thrive. But here's what's truly important, this abundance is not just financial. It is energetic, emotional, sacred. This is the wealth that follows healing. The wealth that arrives when you finally lay down your burdens and trust that grace is already on its way. I invite you to stay with me through this journey, because what's being revealed today is more than astrology. It is more than tarot. It is the gentle hand of the divine, placing a message in your lap saying, you are not forgotten. You are being prepared for more. So many of us are overwhelmed, anxious, and constantly chasing peace. But today, I want to invite you into stillness, into truth, into the mystery of divine timing. Because what's coming next for you, if you let it in, is not just money. It's proof that heaven still listens. That your patience was not in vain. Thank you for being here. Every view, every comment, every like is a signal energetically and spiritually that you are ready to step into alignment. Your support breathes life into this sacred space, miracle of the sign, and allows these transformative messages to continue finding the ones who need them most. And trust me, beloved Scorpio, you will want to stay until the end of this reading. Because what the universe is about to reveal, it's nothing short of breathtaking. Now tell me, what led you here today? What has your soul been praying for in secret? Speak it aloud. Write it down. And let's open the door together. Scorpio, in the stillness of today's divine timing, something in the sky has shifted for you gently, yet with undeniable power. November 12, 2025, holds an energetic alignment that feels as though heaven itself has opened a small window, letting light pour in exactly where your life needs it most. This is not just any day, it is a sacred intersection of energies, and you are standing right in the middle of it. The moon enters Taurus, your astrological opposite, forming a bridge across the zodiac that directly connects your deepest emotional truths with your material world. In astrology, when the moon enters your opposite sign, it doesn't push against you, it balances you. It brings softness to your intensity, steadiness to your transformation. And when it lights up the financial sector of your chart, it's as if it's gently turning a golden key in a locked vault you didn't even know still existed. You may not realize it yet, but this vault isn't just symbolic. There are real opportunities, possibly long overdue, trying to reach you. Inheritance, back payments, legal compensations, forgotten entitlements, or even support from someone who once promised and never followed through. What makes this transit so significant is not only the moon's light but the harmony formed between Mars, your co-ruler, and Jupiter, the cosmic bringer of blessings. Mars is your drive, your sacred fire, the core of your willpower. Jupiter is expansion, benevolence, higher law, and divine timing. When the two work together, they don't just open doors, they break generational patterns. They don't just give you what you ask, they bring what your soul didn't dare to speak aloud. This is the kind of alignment that speaks not only in opportunities but in whispers. Whispers that say, "I've seen how long you've waited," or "I know how silently you've suffered," and perhaps most of all, you're allowed to receive now. But here's the heart of this lesson, and one that comes from years of watching the skies, guiding souls, and healing stories. The universe cannot deliver to hands that are clenched in fear. It cannot send wealth to those who feel unworthy. That's not punishment, it's spiritual law. As within, so without. If you've been taught that money is dangerous, or that love must be earned through suffering, or that joy must be postponed until everything is perfect, this is the invitation to unlearn. Because the alignment happening now is not just celestial, it is personal. It is custom designed to challenge the exact parts of you that still carry scarcity in their DNA. And this is where grace enters. Not as a flash of light, but as a soft breeze that brushes through your resistance. Grace is the quiet unfolding that says, "You are not what your fear told you. You are not what the past claimed over you. You are not what you had to survive. You are what remains. You are the soil after the storm, fertile, steady, sacred." And that is why, today, as the moon rises and Mars extends its hand to Jupiter, you may feel something that doesn't make logical sense. A sudden clarity. A moment of emotional release. A message. A strange dream. A new client. A job lead. A friend offering help without being asked. That is your signal. What I've learned, through both astrology and the law of attraction, is that miracles rarely shout. They move like water, quietly but with purpose. And just like scripture reminds us in seasons of fatigue, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This alignment offers rest, but also reward. It is not either/or. It is both. Rest from fear. Reward for faith. Abundance not as a transaction, but as a reflection of your healing. This is not about chasing money. It's about becoming someone who is finally safe to hold it. Someone who does not apologize for receiving. Someone who knows that wealth, in all its forms, is a form of worship and honoring of the divine work you've done within. Let the vault open. Let the lunar light show you where it's hidden. And more importantly, let your heart say yes. Not just to what is coming but to the truth that you are finally ready. Scorpio, as we move deeper into this sacred space together, I invite you to open your heart to the message that lies not just in the stars but in the cards that hold the energy of your now. Today's tarot pull brings with it two contrasting yet deeply connected archetypes, the Ten of Pentacles and the Tower. These are not casual symbols. They are mirrors reflecting where you stand between legacy and liberation, between the comfort of what's known and the necessary shock of what's next. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of wealth, yes, but not just in a material sense. It speaks of generational abundance, the kind of rooted prosperity that grows through time, tradition, and trust. It is the image of a family gathered beneath the same roof, of stability passed down like a sacred heirloom. In the context of your reading today, this card suggests that something long withheld, be it financial support, emotional backing, or even recognition, is beginning to surface. It may arrive through family, an organization, or a long-standing connection that finally delivers what was promised. And yet, it doesn't speak of sudden windfalls as much as it speaks of earned alignment. You've done the work. You've kept the ground fertile. And now, the tree bears fruit. But next to this legacy card stands the Tower. And that is where your story deepens. The Tower is often feared in tarot, associated with chaos, breakdown, the unexpected. But to fear this card is to misunderstand its purpose. The Tower does not destroy for the sake of destruction. It clears what was never meant to last, what was built on fear, scarcity, or survival. And in your reading, Scorpio, the Tower is not a punishment. It is an urgent clearing. A removal of structures, perhaps beliefs, perhaps roles, perhaps financial systems that have kept you tethered to limits you've outgrown. There may be a phone call, an email, a message from someone you don't expect. It might feel like a disruption. You may feel overwhelmed. But I urge you, look deeper. What seems like disarray is actually divine reordering. A sudden shift in your financial world could be the thing that breaks open access to the abundance that's been waiting behind a wall you didn't know was there. In the art of emotional healing, we often talk about shattering to awaken. There are moments in life when we don't realize how tightly we've been clinging to control until life gently or sometimes forcefully asks us to let go. And if we're willing, the release makes room for something far more authentic, far more aligned. You are in one of those moments now. And what makes this particular Tower sacred is that it arrives alongside the promise of the Ten of Pentacles. You are not losing everything. You are gaining what was always meant for you. This pattern is echoed in the cosmic rhythm of transformation. Just as the soil must be disturbed for the seed to take root, just as the caterpillar must dissolve before becoming the butterfly, sometimes abundance demands a breaking. Not to harm you but to make sure that when the blessing arrives, it has a place to land. And that place is no longer cluttered by fear, resentment, or delay. So if something falls apart, don't panic. Pause. Breathe. Ask, what space is being made here? Because chances are, the thing leaving is not your blessing. It is the obstacle to it. You are not being punished. You are being repositioned, realigned, set free. And soon, what looked like a storm will turn out to be the very wind that carried your miracle to your doorstep. You're not here to cling to survival. You're here to thrive with purpose. So let the tower do its work, and trust that what remains will be true. And what comes next will be more than you ever dared to expect. Scorpio, after the revelation of what the cards have shown us, the promise of legacy and the necessity of release, now comes the most intimate part of your journey, the return to your own heart. While the stars illuminate the path and the tarot reflects what is unfolding, the deepest transformations always begin from within. You, of all signs, understand this better than most. You are ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, of transformation and hidden truth. That means your healing doesn't come through surface-level affirmations or quick fixes. It comes through depth. Through quiet honesty. Through shedding old skins that once protected you but now only weigh you down. This part of the path isn't loud. It's not about achieving, proving, or accumulating. It's about remembering. Remembering who you were before fear was taught to you. Before someone else's scarcity became your inheritance. Before life taught you to brace for loss instead of breathe into abundance. This is the space where your healing begins, not with a bang, but with a whisper. And that whisper says, you can let go now. You are allowed to rest. So many of us carry emotional burdens that do not belong to us. Ideas about money, success, or self-worth that were planted by people who never healed their own stories. Perhaps you were taught that it's selfish to receive. That wealth corrupts. That struggle earns virtue. But I want to gently challenge those beliefs, because they do not serve the truth of your spirit. The truth is, abundance flows most freely to the heart that knows peace. And peace comes when we no longer resist what wants to heal. This is your invitation to stop carrying what was never yours. You don't have to solve every problem. You don't have to rescue everyone. You don't have to be strong all the time. True strength is being soft enough to feel. To admit that you're tired. To acknowledge that sometimes your greatest need is not another task but a moment to breathe, to reflect, and to reconnect with what is sacred inside you. One of the most powerful ways to enter this space is through honest self-reflection. You might try journaling, not as a task, but as a sacred conversation between you and your soul. Ask yourself gently, what is my earliest memory of money? Who taught me that I had to earn love, safety, or value? You don't have to have the answers. Sometimes healing simply begins by asking the question. What you'll discover is that the fear you've been carrying has a name, and once it's named, it begins to lose its power. Another practice that can gently shift your energy is visualization. You can close your eyes and picture yourself standing in a field at dawn, hands open, heart unguarded. See a light coming from above, soft, golden, and warm, gently pouring into your chest, washing over the parts of you that feel tight, ashamed, or unworthy. Let it stay there. Let it soak in. You are not fixing yourself. You are remembering that you were never broken. And if emotions rise, tears, resistance, even anger, welcome them. They are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that your body, your heart, and your spirit are beginning to trust that healing is possible. That safety is possible. That you are not alone in your experience. Because Scorpio, the truth is, nothing outside of you has the power to define your value. That has always lived inside you. Buried perhaps. Protected. But never gone. This is the heart of healing, not to strive, but to surrender. To release not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to stop carrying what's not yours. And in doing so, you make space. Space for joy. Space for rest. Space for the kind of abundance that doesn't just fill your bank account but your soul. So be still, even just for a few breaths, and let your own heart begin to return to itself. That's where the miracle lives. Scorpio, after walking through the emotional terrain of your healing and witnessing the divine architecture of your inner transformation, we now arrive at the place where energy becomes action. This is the moment when the unseen begins to take form, when intentions turn to invitations, and when the universe asks you not just to believe but to participate. The cosmic forces at play are already moving on your behalf, but energy, like breath, is meant to flow. And part of your alignment now is to clear the path for that flow to reach you freely. In numerology, numbers are not just digits. They are frequencies, carriers of intention, vibrating with specific energetic truths. And two numbers are resonating loudly for you now. The first is 11, often called the number of intuition and spiritual insight. It is the number of the bridge, linking the earthly and the divine. When 11 appears, it signals that your inner wisdom is heightened. You are not being asked to push. You are being asked to perceive. To listen. To trust that what you feel is more reliable now than what you see. The second number is 8, and in its doubled form, 88. This is the number of karmic restoration, of financial empowerment, and of stepping into your divine authority. 8 doesn't just suggest money, it carries the energy of sustainable, purpose-driven abundance. It asks, are you ready to not only receive, but to embody the kind of prosperity that flows from alignment, not effort alone? Colors, too, carry frequency, and your aura right now is most supported by the energies of deep green and radiant gold. Deep green is the color of the heart chakra, the center of emotional balance, trust, and healing. To wear green, to surround yourself with it, is to remind your body and spirit that it is safe to receive. That it is safe to open again. And gold is not just about wealth. It is the color of illumination, of clarity, of sacred worthiness. It reflects back to you a truth you may have forgotten, that your light has value, that your presence is enough, that you were born deserving, before anyone taught you otherwise. But knowing these things intellectually is not the same as living them. This is where the law of attraction becomes more than theory, it becomes practice. It becomes embodiment. So I invite you into a simple ritual of release and invitation. Take a piece of paper and gently, without judgment, write down every limiting belief you've carried about money or receiving. Perhaps they sound like, I'm not good with money, I always struggle, wealth isn't spiritual, or I don't deserve more than just enough. These are not truths. These are inherited fears. And now, you are choosing to give them back. When you're ready, tear or burn the paper. As the pieces fall or the smoke rises, speak aloud, I release what no longer serves. I make space for what is meant to find me. This is not just symbolism, it is energetic permission. A signal to the universe that you are done agreeing with your limitations. that you are ready to come into alignment with your truth. And then, bring your hand to your heart. Close your eyes. Breathe. Feel your pulse, the steady rhythm that has never abandoned you. And speak, I am open to receive the blessings that are aligned with my growth. I allow abundance. I allow joy. I allow peace. Even 5 minutes of this quiet, embodied presence can shift what you attract. Because when you feel safe to receive, you become magnetic to all that is yours. This is not about chasing money. It's about becoming the kind of person who holds it with grace. Who uses it as a tool for creation, not survival. Who honors its presence without fearing its loss. And as you shift, your field shifts. Your story shifts. Your life gently but powerfully begins to reflect back the abundance you were always meant to live. Scorpio, as we arrive at this moment in your journey, the conversation shifts from inner restoration to outer manifestation. What has been healing within you through your deep emotional work, through the releasing of old beliefs and the quiet courage it takes to feel now begins to ripple outward into the material world. This is where the energy becomes visible. Where the unseen becomes seen. And in the realm of finances and work, this shift may not always appear dramatic at first, but it is no less profound. Something is moving toward you. Something delayed, withheld, or long forgotten is seeking its way back to you, and the key to receiving it lies in your steady presence, not your pursuit. The astrology of this moment reflects opportunities born from reconnection. The flow of money may come not from new hustle, but from previous efforts finally circling back. A client who once walked away now returns. A refund, an inheritance, or a legal matter finds sudden resolution. An application long forgotten brings surprising news. These aren't mere coincidences, they are the result of energetic alignment. You've shifted inside, and now the outer world is catching up to the frequency of who you are becoming. And yet, you must remember, not all movement is linear, and not all abundance comes in the way you expect. The law of attraction doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to resonance. That means your job is not to chase. Your job is to hold. Scorpios are builders of legacies, not just gatherers of moments. Your path in career and finance is rarely about temporary gains, it's about deep-rooted impact. If you are in a profession tied to healing, spiritual work, artistry, or financial counseling, this period holds potent possibility. The people you are meant to help are being drawn toward you by an invisible current. They may not even know why they are thinking of you again, but they are. And as they reappear, your responsibility is to remain centered in your value, not reactive to their pace. Your energy, when grounded, becomes magnetic. The more still and aligned you are, the faster the blessings arrive. Not because you are trying harder, but because you are clearer, and clarity is a beacon. In your work life, now is the time to revisit old ideas, projects that were paused, or conversations that ended prematurely. Something you set aside in the past because the timing wasn't right may now hold new life. You may feel nudged to send an email, reach out gently, or say yes to a small collaboration that opens a much wider door. These moments, though subtle, are sacred. They are the hinges on which greater opportunities swing. But here's what's most essential in this phase: trust the pace. When money is on the way, when your gifts are being recognized, it is natural to feel urgency. You may want to act fast, secure the outcome, speed up the process. But the energy around you now asks for intentionality, not impulsivity. Breathe before you reply. Rest before you sign. Consider before you commit. You are not in a race, you are in a divine rhythm. And when you act from that rhythm, you find that money flows with more ease, work feels less forced, and clients or collaborators begin to reflect your own emotional clarity. Remember, the most profound changes in your career or finances may not begin with big announcements or flashy opportunities. They often start with small openings, quiet moments where your readiness and the world's need finally meet. And the greatest abundance comes when you're no longer striving to be chosen, but when you fully claim that you were always worthy. So hold your ground, Scorpio. Stay rooted in your intention, soft in your presence, and clear in your values. Let the work come to you. Let the money find you. You are no longer chasing what you've earned. You are becoming the version of yourself who naturally attracts it. And the universe, ever faithful to vibration, is already on its way with exactly what you need. Scorpio, if there is one truth I hope you carry with you after this sacred time together, it is this: you do not need anyone's permission to step into your blessing. The door has always been there, waiting not for a key, but for your willingness to open it. The universe isn't withholding from you. It's been holding something for you, and now, as your energy shifts, as your heart begins to soften, that long-awaited gift, yes, perhaps a large financial blessing, is being guided toward you with divine precision. But here's the thing most people forget: miracles don't shout. They knock gently, patiently. They wait for alignment. They wait for your yes. So let me ask you, right here, with complete honesty and love, have you truly said yes to receiving? Have you let go of the story that you must struggle, prove yourself, or earn your worth before anything good can happen? Or are you still standing behind a door that's already been unlocked, too afraid to turn the handle? Because the message today has not only been a forecast, it's been a mirror. A mirror showing you what's possible when you trust. When you release the noise of the world and come back to your inner knowing. When you believe that money can be a form of healing, that work can be sacred, and that your desires aren't random, they are directions. Today, you were shown the pathway not just to more but to meaningful more. To abundance that sustains not only your bank account, but your soul. But the universe can only match your energy. So how will you show up after this? Will you sit with your journal tonight and finally write out the beliefs you're ready to burn? Will you take 5 minutes to place your hand on your heart and speak to it like a friend you want to heal? Will you act on that nudge, reach out to that person, revisit that idea, or answer that intuitive whisper that's been repeating for weeks? Remember, miracles don't require perfection. They require participation. I want to thank you deeply for staying present with me, for receiving this message, and for being part of something bigger than just a video. Every comment you leave, every like, every share, every moment you subscribe to this channel, Miracle of the Signory, not just supporting the work here, you're strengthening a spiritual current that reaches far beyond you. You are helping these words find the next soul who's silently praying for clarity, hope, or one simple reminder that they are not forgotten. So if this message touched you, I invite you to write in the comments, "I'm ready to receive." Say it not for me, but for your own soul to hear it loud and clear. Let that sentence become a declaration, a vibration, a crack of light where resistance once stood. And if someone comes to mind, someone who's been struggling, someone who needs this exact guidance, send this message to them. Be the bridge. You are loved. You are seen. You are not late. You are not too much or too far behind. You are right on time for the life that is already being written with your name on it. Stay close, Scorpio. More is unfolding. And I promise, the next time the universe whispers, I'll be here waiting to guide you home.